morning. It's Friday, and that means I've got not one, not two, not three, but 4 books to talk about. So I have said before I don't like owning books, and all of these books have come from an op shop that someone said, oh, you might like to read this. So I don't really know where to start. So this is what I'm going to talk about. So the first one I got was this one. Can you see? I'll put it up there. See? Alexander McCall Smith. Now, I've said before with Alexander McCall Smith, I tried to read his #1 women's detective, whatever. I didn't like those at all. But I did read his book, My Italian Bulldozer, and I actually did a video about that. I liked that. This one looks to be another genre. And I will say with Alexander McCall Smith, he seems to write in all these different genres. So this book, the character is Professor Dr. Maritz Maria von Eigelfeld. I haven't started this yet, and it looks like there's 3 stories with this character in this book. So if any of you have read that, let me know, because as I said, I didn't like the detective ones, but I did like the other one. Yes, it's the #1 ladies detective agency. But he's an interesting author, because he writes these different stories. So this is the 2.5 Pillars of Wisdom, incorporating Portuguese irregular verbs, the finer points of sausage dogs, and At the Villa of Reduced Circumstances. So I was given that, and I thought, yeah, that looks interesting. Because as I said, the one about the Italian Bulldozer, that was another story altogether. But it was good, and I think he's a good writer. He writes well, so I am looking forward to reading that one. Then I was given this one, Lauren Crowe, Bye Bye Baby. Now this is interesting, this one. When I come across an author I don't know, I Google them. Thank goodness for Google, eh? We all Google. So Lauren Crowe, now her detective is I think he's Jack Hawksworth. Is that who he is? And Jane Farmer, Brighton. I think she's Australian. I think she was English born and she lives in Australia, I think, because I looked her up. Now this book came out in 2007. There were 2 books that came out with the same character with this name. And the second one was 2011, and I thought, oh, she's only written 2 novels. And then I looked a bit further, and the same characters are now in books by Fiona McIntosh. Now, I don't know if this was her real name or a pseudonym. I don't know if Fiona McIntosh is her real name, because I was telling someone about it and they said, oh yeah, we read Fiona McIntosh, and it is the same one, because the character has carried forward, and she's written about 8 or 10 novels since 2011. So I just thought that was a little bit interesting, because yeah, I don't know why that would be under 2 different names. And as I said, was this a pseudonym? I don't know, but it looks interesting. So I'll be reading that one. And as I said, it's a series. So if I like that, I will continue reading that series. The same as this one, Sue Grafton. Now I notice with Sue Grafton, you know, she's got A to Y. With Kinsey Malone, I think her character is. And I'm thinking, well, I could start with A for alibi and then read them all through. This is M. And I have started it. It's good. She was a good writer. I believe she was going to do A to Z, but she passed away before she could write Z. So, yeah, that's... Have any of you read her books? Have any of you read the whole series? Is it worth reading the whole series? A for alibi, B for burger, C for corpse, deadbeat evidence, etc. And I thought, yeah, that might be a thought too. So there's that one. And then there is this. Can you see that? Barbara Vine. Now, I did a post a few months ago talking about my favourite book of all time, which is Asta's book. And Asta's book was written as Barbara Vine. And of course, Barbara Vine was the pen name for Ruth Rendell. Ruth Rendell was a wonderful crime writer. English. She did the Inspector Wexford books. They were good, but I actually think when she's writing as Barbara Vine, the Barbara Vine ones were even better. And this is actually 3 novels: A Dark Adapted Eye, A Fatal Inversion, The House of Stairs. So this, I have started the first one, A Dark Adapted Eye. It looks interesting, because the one who's writing it, her aunt has been hanged for murder. I think it's set around the Second World War. And yeah, it looks interesting. On the morning Vera died, I woke up very early. So this is it. A Dark Adapted Eye. Invaded Passion. Yeah. The other ones, A Fatal Inversion. That's about, yeah, that looks good too. She's very good, Ruth Rendell, especially as Barbara Vine. She's very good at creating atmospheres. And the little bit I've read of this A Dark Adapted Eye, sorry, my glasses keep falling down. As I said, it's set in the Second World War, which is years ago. But I can already sense this atmosphere. And as I said, she was, I should say, I'm sorry, she's passed away now. She was such a good writer. Really good crime writer. She won many awards. The Inspector Wexford ones, I said, I've read a few of those, and of course they were made into a TV series. Kissing the Gunner's Daughter, I think, was the best Inspector Wexford one I read. But yeah, so there you go. I've got 4 books. 4 books. Which one would you start with? I've sort of dipped in and out of all of them, and the best thing is all 4 will be going back from where they came, which is because I don't like owning books, as you know. But there's, as I said, and I have to admit, I do like reading series. And the Lauren Crowe / Fiona McIntosh, and please let me know if any of you have read any of those books. Am I right in assuming that this Lauren Crowe was a pseudonym? Because and then she's continued writing, or is it someone else altogether writing these books? Because as I said, it is the same characters. So I don't know. But Sue Grafton, definitely I could read the whole series, couldn't I? It's A to Y is what she wrote. And I did read somewhere with her, she had a background, I think, in writing for television, I think. Because I know she said that she never wanted her work put on the screen. And as far as I know, it never has been. So yeah. Oh, sorry, I've just knocked my camera there. I think 4 different books, but 4 interesting books. And I don't know which one to really start and finish with. I will definitely read one next week. But if you've got any suggestions, and if any of you have read any of those authors, let me know what you think. As I said, the Alexander McCall Smith, I'm hoping this one is more in the vein of the Italian Bulldozer rather than the detective agency one. Because as I said, I didn't like those detective ones. But he's if I could say, he's a quirky writer. You know, he gets these ideas and then he just writes stories about them. I don't know. But that makes him an interesting writer, doesn't it? So anyway, that's it for books on Friday. I will be back on Monday, going to see a show this weekend. I was meant to be seeing a show today, but as I said, it was cancelled due to ill health. So I don't know if that will be rescheduled. Anyway, enjoy your weekend. It's grey, overcast, and forecast of showers again here. So yeah, winter has really arrived. And I know people overseas that are in really cold places don't think it's cold, but for us in Australia, it's cold. So good weather to curl up with a gin and tonic, which I like to do when I read a book, and sit down and read. I've just got to pick one, and I'd like your help. Which one would you choose? Which one would you start with? Okay, I'll see you on Monday. Bye.